I remember getting on my knees just like asking God, if you love me, why would you just leave me? I know that you're good and I know you have a bigger plan, but do I have to go through this? My name is Anna Lin. Hear my story. One of my strongest memories growing up would be just hanging out on a summer night with my family, with my brother. He's younger than me, so it's pushing him around in a stroller and just the summer breeze coming in our living room, maybe watching Disney Channel. I was obsessed with That's So Raven and Scooby-Doo, and just 7th grade was where I think my loneliness and kind of problems came up. Stuff happened with just no really communication in my family. My mom and dad are working at the restaurant. My brother is diagnosed with autism, and he's really young. So it just didn't feel like I have support. And growing up in Asian American culture, it's very shame-based culture. Very just keep everything to yourself if it's bad. You don't tell anyone else. Your elders teach you oh no, don't tell people that. Don't even appear you have problem. You have to be oh, we're good. Everything's fine. And obviously life isn't fine, but I don't know why they just are so afraid. But I just remember every day I would just I just want to go home and just want to lie in my bed and not think, because I think I was very lonely, but I didn't want to think about that. So I would just go home and try to sleep it off and just run home, and yeah, it was a definitely lonely time. And then I had that one one Korean friend who brought me to church, and surprisingly the church is walking distance from my house. So I was able to walk to church for fellowship. And when I walked into church, I was whoa, nice people exist. I was shook. I was wow, they're genuinely nice. I didn't do anything for them, but they're just genuinely kind people welcoming me. And then one night during quiet time, it's just you and God. The lights are off, soft guitar. I just remember Jesus telling me I'm gonna turn your life 180. Just give me your heart. And then I was okay. And I remember just bawling. It's 7th, 8th grade, just bawling. And then after that, I felt a weight was lifted. Before that, I never really smiled. And then after that, I was a little bit more, my grandma pointed out. I was able to open up a little bit. Yeah. So but then a few months after, because I'm going to high school, and Asians are very big on Excel, Harvard, that's it, that's all you gotta do. She's you gotta study, you can't go to church. And I was freaking out, because I was church is the only thing that's making me happy, and you're taking that away from me. I was so confused. I was so angry, how could you do this? And I remember talking to my pastor, and I was oh, my mom said I can't go to church. And he's oh, you don't need to go to church, you can be the church. And as a very new Christian, that was kind of hard to understand. I feel my biblical foundation wasn't really there, but my heart was there. My heart was completely changed. NYU was great. The best years of my life. College, let's go. You get to meet so many people, and I got to study in Sydney, Australia, and the people is honestly the big thing. I was in a Christian fellowship, and they poured so much love into me. So coming out of that was huge transition. But because I went straight to grad school, I didn't really think about it. I bet everybody else was internship, job search, but I was I'll go to grad school. Because like you said, I wanted to learn about mental health, because I was surrounded by that, and I didn't even realize I wish I had it too until this past year. I think because I was doing so much, I was dancing, going to church, just doing a bunch of things, I didn't realize whoa, when I slowed down, I was whoa, what are these panic attacks? Why do I feel I just I'm I can't breathe, it's hard, you just choke. And then and I realized yeah, it's panic attack. Some things trigger you, So from my childhood, I think rock bottom would be in the middle of winter. I remember I was I got a bite, a really it looked like a spider bite, because it's just a red line just here. And I took antibiotic, but then I was allergic to the antibiotic, so my whole body broke out. So she gave me another pill, and then I think that just went over the top. My body was freaking out, my headache was booming. That I remember in the middle of the night, I remember getting on my knees, just asking God, if you love me, why would you just leave me? Or I felt like Job. I was like, I know that you're good, and I know like you have a bigger plan, but like, do I have to like go through this? Like it just, I guess I felt like pretty abandoned. I was like, what is going on? You know, like, why am I feeling all of this? Why is it coming out? Like, did I do something? Like, just 1,000 thoughts just like running around, and like, I guess I'm still kind of working through it. But I would say it was like this past winter, and like every day is like, it's like every day is a battle. Like, you're just like, I'm gonna get up, it's gonna be okay, and like, it's just like really hard because like I said, like being Asian American and like for like the communication barrier with my mom, like she doesn't, like they don't really get it because that's not what they grew up with, and they had other problems like, oh, I need food on the table, you know. They came literally from like poverty in like in the farms of Fuzhou. I guess the big difference now is that I have like friends who really care and like support groups, but in the end of the day, it's literally you and like what you decide to do with that, right? Like, yeah, okay, I have mental illness, I have like generalized anxiety, I have depression, but every day I'll find like little moments like of like maybe someone just smiling like as I'm walking, like we make eye contact, and it's like, you know, it's like cool. But I always ask God, like, what do you want me to do? Like, people are like, oh, listen. I'm like, I'm listening. What is he saying? If you have walked through the similar shoes that I have, I just want you to know that you matter. You matter so much to the people around you, even if you don't feel like it. And that your mental illness is not who you are. Your identity isn't in that. But the Lord has made you so wonderful. And one day you're going to look back and be like, whoa, he got me through. And it's hard to see that, but baby steps, and just find the beauty in every little thing, and just learn to love yourself. And it's a beautiful struggle, but you got people, armies supporting you. So you got this.